Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really digging into Think Smart, Not Hard, 52 Key Principles to Success and Happiness.
That's right.
You've given us this great collection of notes, and well, our mission here is to pull out those really powerful ideas, the ones that can genuinely change how you approach your goals and, your overall well-being.
Exactly. And this deep dive, it isn't just theory, is it? It's um it's grounded in really practical wisdom.
Mm.
It draws from some innovative thinkers, but also, importantly, from the author's own, well, quite remarkable journey.
Yeah, that journey.
The main purpose, as the author puts it, is to impart the wisdom you need to harness the power of your skills and use the tools necessary to optimize your personal success and happiness. So we're going to explore exactly how.
And that personal story you mentioned, it's really something. They didn't start with advantages, not at all. They talk about facing, what was it, severe hardship and previous poor choices.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking rough neighborhoods, failed businesses, stock market losses, even bankruptcies, multiple bankruptcies. And dropping out of college,
It's quite a list.
yet somehow they end up with 5 degrees, published novels, became a research scientist, contributing to big publications.
Like the Bulletin of the American Meteorological Society life hack.
It just makes you stop and think, how did they do that?
Well, that's the fascinating part, isn't it? The author connects those wins, those triumphs, directly to dedication in the face of challenge and optimism in the face of defeat.
Hmm.
They say success came down to perseverance and systems that were in place, often without me realizing it.
Systems they didn't even realize.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they even look back and say, if they'd known these principles earlier, they could have increased those triumphs and leveraged the successes into more permanent features of my life. It really makes you ask yourself, doesn't it? How many of your own successes, your own breakthroughs, maybe came from systems you haven't really consciously identified? Perhaps it was, I don't know, a habit of daily reflection that just subtly sharpened your thinking, or maybe always seeking feedback, things you didn't label as systems, but, well, they were.
It really does seem like that transformation starts inside. So, okay, let's dig into that first crucial area. Building that strong inner foundation. Your notes really emphasize the power of self-forgiveness.
Hmm.
And it's not about, just letting yourself off easy. It's about accepting responsibility, right? And then choosing to
Yep.
learn from it all.
Exactly, learning from mistakes.
So the author points out that often it isn't what you do that prevents success or happiness, but what you don't do.
Right, those missed opportunities.
Yeah, the missed opportunities that arise from being so focused and absorbed in your own self-pity. Ouch.
That ties right into the next key principle. Don't fear failure, learn from it.
Mm.
The text talks about how, from a young age, we're often conditioned by society to avoid risk.
Yeah, definitely.
And that can lead to cynicism, maybe giving up on dreams too early. But the author is clear. Failure is necessary, and you must study it before success is really possible. It's just part of the deal.
And the examples they give are pretty striking. You mentioned Jim Carrey, homelessness, Richard Branson, dyslexia.
Benjamin Franklin,
Yeah.
very little formal schooling early on.
Right, all overcoming huge hurdles. And then there's the author's own story, really candid, dropping out of that meteorology program in Hawaii, perceived math difficulty, tuition hikes,
Mm-hmm.
and they admit it. I didn't take the actions necessary to finish. I reacted instead of being proactive and brave.
That honesty is powerful, and it leads straight to this question. What beliefs are you holding about yourself? This principle, you perform at the level you see yourself at, that's critical.
It really is.
The author shares their own experience, even after achieving a childhood dream of becoming a research meteorologist. They struggle internally.
Even with the success.
Yeah. They say, while I knew superficially I had the intelligence, I didn't internalize that belief. I let the failures of my past rob me of my self-confidence. And ultimately, that lack of core self-belief, it affected their career path.
Wow.
So you see how deep it goes. Our self-perception, it can really fundamentally shape our real-world results.
So moving away from seeing yourself as a victim seems key. The author's pretty direct about it.
Very direct.
They mention people who couldn't get past that first principle about forgiveness.
Right. Forgiving those who don't deserve it.
The concept was a bridge too far because the lens they use to view the world is too far askew. They see themselves as victims. So the takeaway for you listening is really about cultivating that affirmative mindset and flexibility. That seems crucial.
Absolutely. Flexibility is key.
Okay, so once that inner game is stronger, then it's about building the blueprint, right, for your dreams.
Yeah, the practical steps.
And the sources really hammer home the importance of goal setting. Specifically, write your goals.
Just writing them down. Sounds simple.
It does, but the author argues that clear, specific, written goals create this vivid image in your mind. They force commitment, and they let you see the end, which makes you much more likely to actually, act.
And there's actual data backing this up, that Dominican University study you found.
Oh, yeah, that was fascinating.
Of what, nearly 150 people? Only 43% hit their goals if they just thought about them.
Just thinking. Not enough.
Compared to 64% who wrote them down. And then, get this, 76%, a huge jump for those who wrote them down, told others, and had an accountability partner.
Wow, 76%.
It just shows the real measurable benefit of these consistent, maybe simple-seeming actions.
And it's not just what you want, is it? It's why.
The motivation.
The book brings up Simon Sinek's Start with the Why. Basically, if your goal isn't something you're truly passionate about.
You're setting yourself up for failure.
Exactly. You'll have doomed the goal to failure before you even began. That deep why is what keeps you going.
And part of effective goal setting, according to the text, is also thinking ahead about the bumps in the road.
Anticipating obstacles?
Yeah. List potential roadblocks, brainstorm multiple ways around them. Because, let's face it, challenges will arise. The only question is, are you prepared for them?
That's a great question to ask yourself.
And equally important, reflect weekly on your goals. Don't just set them and forget them.
Keep them alive.
Right. That regular check-in keeps them top of mind, lets you make adjustments early, and, crucially, it gives you that positive motivation to keep you moving forward because you actually see the progress you're making.
Okay, so that gives us a solid framework for setting the direction. Now, how about actually doing the work, making progress? The book has some, pretty strong views on managing time and energy. One big one is stop multitasking.
Ah, yes, the multitasking myth.
The author is super direct. Your brain can only do one thing at a time, period.
Seems counterintuitive to how many of us work, though.
Totally. But they argue that multitasking, like, scrolling through social media while you're trying to work, it doesn't just make you slower.
It does more damage.
Yeah, it actually trains your brain for a shorter attention span. It makes it harder to focus deeply later on. That's kind of scary when you think about it.
It really makes you question if you're actually saving time or just, shredding your focus into tiny pieces.
Exactly, fragmenting your focus.
The text suggests things like limiting email checks to just a few specific and regular times a day.
Rather than constant pings.
Right. And using little bursts of internet surfing as a reward after finishing something, not as this constant background hum of distraction.
That makes sense. Using it strategically. And then there's this broader idea, leverage your time. This goes way beyond just putting things on a calendar.
It's about effectiveness, not just efficiency.
Right. Identifying that 20% of actions that give you 80% of the results. The Pareto principle.
The 80-20 rule.
What? Yeah. And the author is pretty ruthless about it. If something isn't essential, if it just makes you feel busy instead of pushing you forward, then
get rid of it.
Eliminate it. Harsh, but maybe necessary.
And this idea of leverage extends to really practical things like outsourcing and automation.
Right, getting help.
The author argues pretty strongly that your time is worth more than you think.
We often undervalue our time.
And you're stealing money from yourself by stealing time. If you're caught up micromanaging tasks someone else could do, maybe even better or faster.
That's a hard truth for some people, maybe.
And same with automation. Simple daily tasks like bill payments. Automate them. It frees up mental energy and, surprisingly, time and maybe even money over the long haul.
Okay, so eliminate, outsource, automate. What about the stuff you have to do yourself, the important stuff?
Well, for that, the advice is interesting. Procrastinate on purpose.
Procrastinate on purpose. That sounds wrong.
Well, it's based on Rory Vaden's idea. It's not about being lazy. It's about making a conscious, strategic choice. You give yourself permission to put off things that are less important right now so you can really focus your best energy on what truly matters most.
So it's like strategic prioritization, almost.
Exactly. Prioritizing your must-dos over your should-dos to get the biggest impact.
And the author claims this whole approach to time, eliminate, automate, delegate, procrastinate, purposefully has no downside.
Because you're not cutting essentials.
Right. You're not sacrificing family time or your health or things like that. You're just becoming way more efficient and impactful with the time you do spend working.
Making your productive time actually productive.
Okay, let's pivot a bit to something really fundamental for keeping that momentum going long term. Your personal well-being,
Mhm.
physical health,
That's
financial
the
health.
foundational stuff, yeah.
The sources directly link your energy level to both happiness and success. Seems obvious, but maybe we forget it.
We often do.
The principle, eat a healthy diet and get exercise. It's not just about looking good or physical fitness, it's about brain power.
Mental performance, absolutely.
The author highlights that critical thinking and other reasoning skills are impaired because of poor health, directly impaired.
And this connects back to that idea of systems, doesn't it? Good habits and robust systems are necessary to overcome those times when our bodies fail us.
When willpower isn't enough.
Exactly. The author shares their own story again, losing 20 pounds. And it wasn't just about weight. It brought back focus, energy.
And help them finish that book project.
Yeah, one they'd been stuck on for over a year. They also talk about cutting out fast food, alcohol, realizing those things dull the brain's response.
Dulls the brain. How so?
Well, they dull the response to other actions that trigger similar brain chemicals, like exercise or the satisfaction of completing a task, but to a lesser degree. So the healthy rewards feel less rewarding.
Ah, interesting. So it's about setting up your environment for success.
Precisely. Creating an environment where the positive habits just become easier, the default choice.
So what this really means for you listening is, well, being proactive, thinking ahead, like that example the author gives stocking healthy snacks in the fridge.
So you don't automatically reach for the ice cream when you're tired and hungry.
Right. It's recognizing that poor choices happen more frequently when you're rushed, stressed, or when your mind is otherwise compromised.
Yeah.
You build a system to protect yourself.
It's a protective system. And beyond physical health, financial health is just as critical in these principles. The book really pushes you to make a budget and, crucially, live below your means.
Simple advice, but hard to follow sometimes.
It is. But the author uses these incredibly powerful examples to show the impact. Saving just $15 a week on coffee.
To coffee example.
Yeah, invested at 8%, that could grow to over $16,945 in 40 years.
Just from coffee money.
Or think about a $458 monthly car payment. If you invested that in a Roth IRA starting at age 20 for just 20 years,
Yeah.
it can become over $1.2 million.
$1.2 million from a car payment. That really puts it in perspective.
It really does. These small, consistent choices add up massively over time.
Which brings us to another, maybe more controversial point the author makes. Avoid credit and pay off your debt first.
Yeah, that's a strong stance, especially given their own history.
Right. They admit taking out 6 figures in student loans themselves, which even contributed to a bankruptcy.
That's their bankruptcy, yeah.
And yet now they advocate paying cash for tuition, housing if possible, avoiding almost all other debt.
Their reasoning?
Simple. Debt almost always moves you farther away from your financial goals. It's working against you.
So it really pushes you to take an honest look at your financial risks, doesn't it?
Definitely.
And then after the debt is gone, after you have some savings, that's when invest early and invest often comes in.
But carefully.
Right. Avoid emotional investing, buying high out of excitement, selling low out of panic. Use strategies like dollar cost averaging. Investing a fixed amount regularly, no matter what the market's doing. It averages out your purchase price. And diversification.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Spread the risk. And the author makes this interesting point. Most millionaires in the United States are self-made.
Really? Self-made.
And most of those follow the same principles laid out in this book.
Yeah.
It suggests that this kind of proactive, disciplined financial management isn't just luck. It's a core part of building wealth and, well, overall success.
It's a system again.
Exactly. It all comes back to systems.
Okay, let's look at the long game now. Staying the course, continuous learning, being adaptable.
Keeping the momentum going.
The principle, learn for life, seems absolutely central here.
Lifelong learning, yeah.
And the sources stress being open to information from all sorts of places, even if you don't agree with everything or everyone.
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Right. The author warns against that ad hominem fallacy. You know, dismissing a good idea just because you don't like the person who said it or you disagree with something else they said.
Find the value.
Find the value, take it, and run with it. That's great advice. Don't let minor disagreements block major insights.
And this flows right into use proven learning methods. It's not just about what you learn, but how.
How you make it stick.
And this is fascinating. The claim about active recall. Basically, testing yourself, trying to retrieve information from memory.
Instead of just rereading notes.
Exactly. That active effort can supposedly boost retention by as much as 500% and take less than half the time compared to passive methods.
500%. That's incredible.
It sounds almost too good to be true, but it's based on cognitive science research.
Yeah.
And they also mention the hard start jump to easy technique.
For tackling tough problems or exams.
Yeah, you start with the hardest questions first. This engages your brain's focused mode, that intense concentration.
Gets the gears grinding.
Right. Then you switch to easier problems. While you're doing those, your brain's diffuse mode, that more relaxed background processing state, can keep working on the hard stuff unconsciously.
So you're using both modes of thinking. Clever.
It's a smart technique.
So what does this all suggest for you, the listener, on your own path? It seems to be about constantly tweaking your approach, right? And accepting you won't be perfect.
Embracing imperfection, definitely.
The author advises you to identify your weaknesses. Don't just play to your strengths. Focus on shoring up the weak spots.
Because that's where the biggest gains are often found.
Right. Improving a weakness yields more than slightly improving a strength. And then maybe the most practical, actionable advice of all. Do something small, but do it daily.
Ah, the power of consistency. This is really the core of building habits, isn't it?
Seems like it.
The author says, changes happen over time. It's not about one amazing day or one terrible day. One great or horrendous day won't make or break a person.
It's the average that matters.
Exactly. They use their own writing as an example. 1,500 pages in 9 months. Sounds huge.
Daunting.
But break it down. It was just over 5 pages a day.
Yeah.
Maybe an hour of their time each day. Consistency. The tortoise beats the hare every time.
That really makes big goals feel achievable. Just break it down, do a little bit every day. And related to that, another really important reminder, don't give up when you get off track.
Oh, this is so important. The screw it effect.
Exactly. The author admits falling into that trap. You have one bad day, miss one workout, eat one bad meal.
You think, well, I've blown it now. Might as well give up completely.
Right. But the book emphasizes getting off track happens. It's normal. It's okay.
The crucial part isn't avoiding slip-ups. It's how you react.
Just take a deep breath and step forward. Get back on track immediately. Don't let one slip become a slide.
Resilience over perfection. And finally, the deep dive wraps up with this idea. Share your success with others.
Paying it forward.
Yeah. It highlights that successful people often don't hoard their knowledge. They share their path, their strategies.
Which inspires others.
Exactly. It inspires others, and it kind of multiplies the impact of their own success.
Yeah.
Which leads to a final question for you, really. How will you share your journey? How will you use the wisdom you gain to help others find their own success and happiness?
That's a powerful thought to end on, sharing the journey. Ultimately, this whole deep dive, it really seems to hammer home that success and happiness, too, they aren't just things that happen to you.
They're choices.
Success is a choice. It's about being proactive, taking ownership, realizing your response to things is what shapes the outcome.
Not just the events themselves.
It's about making those deliberate, smart choices guided by clear goals. It's about integrity, listening, adding value.
Striving continuously to become that ideal self the author talks about.
Wow, what a journey through these principles today. From, self-forgiveness right at the start to leveraging your time strategically. And that incredible power of just doing small things every single day.
It's so clear it's not just about success in the typical sense.
No, it's about building lasting happiness, real meaning.
And this deep dive, it really shows that what looks like luck from the outside is so often just a result of consistently applying these kinds of proven principles day in, day out, even when things are tough.
Especially when things are tough.
The author's own story is such powerful proof, isn't it? That your past doesn't have to define your future. Only your present actions really matter.
That's incredibly hopeful. So as you listening reflect on all the stuff we've unpacked, here's a final, maybe provocative thought from the book. Research also shows that striving towards happiness by cultivating a positive mindset may get you faster to success than focusing on success itself.
Focus on happiness first. Success follows.
Think about that. So what's the one small daily action you'll commit to starting now? Not just for the sake of success, but for the inherent satisfaction, maybe the joy of just moving forward.
You've got the tools now, the principles are laid out. It really just comes down to the decision to use them.
It really does.
Well, this concludes our deep dive for today. Thank you so much for sharing these sources with us.
Yeah, this was great. We really hope this has given you some clarity, maybe a renewed sense of purpose on your own path.